Hello guys, the coin here. So I just hopped in for another update on Bitcoin and also in the futures market. So the Dow has just opened and the Dow Jones futures, is just showing here a rising wedge. Looks like it's starting to fall out. So let me check. Let me also check the Dow Jones here. Yep, the DJI. Also kind of developing here a rising wedge. It actually opened to the upside, if I'm not mistaken. The market is having a little bit of indecision. Yep, it actually opened higher, but looks like it's already starting to go down. So let's take a look at what BTC is actually doing. So Bitcoin just created this weird pattern here. Kind of made a wick to the upside, then to the downside, then it stayed stable. And I was just looking at the charts here, and I've seen this pattern before. It wasn't that long ago. So let's see if we can find it. Like we can see here, we see here another one. So it wicked to the upside. Like we can see here, it wicked to the upside, went down, made a little bit of a recovery, then I guess the dump started happening. And I bet, yeah. Where was the last one? Look, here is another one. So it wicked up, it wicked down, came a little bit up, and then it started to dump. So if this is the prelude, and here we can see another small one, kind of did the same thing. So after it dumped, it started to go up and then to the abyss. So if this is a prelude, because there are a couple of them. This was the one that I checked. This is another small one. Here is another one. So here is actually another one. Kind of a lot of these patterns here. So if this is a prelude, what is going to happen? So we had this wick up and wick down. We had up a little bit, and then we had another one, and then it started to dump. So this is actually a bad omen, like we can see here. I don't know if that is relevant, but just according to what I see here, and Bitcoin is already starting to have a hard time to get up. I would say, according to the other patterns here, we should actually starting to go down. I don't know if that is the case, but sure looks like it. Let's just take a look at the futures market, the IM1. Yep, it actually looks like it's recovering a little bit again. Recovering a little bit again, but yeah, doesn't look very good. So the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is wanting to recover a little bit. So it's fallen from that rising wedge. Maybe it's just a retest before it continues to go down, but sure looks like it. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of bearish patterns showing up here. Kind of just like here. Here's another rising wedge, and it looks like it's already starting to get exhausted, and it's wanted to go to the downside. So like I said, guys, there's not a lot of good news for the stock market and for Bitcoin itself, because once again I believe that the market is due for another correction. We had a little bit of a flavor of that when the futures dumped and then had a kind of a recovery, but it looks like the gas from the stock market is starting to dwindle, because well, it's just the way it is. It actually recovered a lot more than I was than I was actually expecting, but nonetheless, that's just the reality of what's going on with the stock market and the stocks and everything else. It doesn't look good, guys. So let me check the Nasdaq here. The Nasdaq also opens a little bit to the upside. So this pattern here actually looks more like a widening rising wedge. We could actually be seeing it broke to the downside, so we could actually start to be seeing here the retest, where this line here became resistance now. If that is the case, then we should expect about 20% dump in here. So let's see where that puts the Nasdaq here. On average, so if that is the case, we could actually see a drop to around 7,976. So in this case here we had a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. This rising broadening wedge doesn't mean necessarily it has to be bearish. It can be bullish as well. But as of now, as it actually failed to go to higher highs here, because that is what this broadening wedge actually talks about. If it went above this line here, then we would be bullish. Could be a very bullish signal. But as we see here right now, the rising wedge actually falling down. And and it's starting to make a retest here. It's going to retest that upper trend line. So like I said, guys, there's not, once again, not a lot of good news here going on into the stock market, into Bitcoin itself. There's really nothing that can scream. Hey man, what's up, Vitor Freire? Forgot from where you are. You are from where? From damn, I can't remember anymore. I guess I talked to you before. You are in Mexico, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. I'm just giving an update on the stock market, and yeah, it doesn't look good, guys. You know, once again, I'm not bullish at all. We're starting to see a widening, rising wedge on the Nasdaq, which isn't per se a bullish or bearish pattern. You know, it just depends on how it develops. It's fallen down from this line here. It's starting to make a retest. If it fails, yeah, we could see on average about 20% of a 20% drop in price. Although I've seen broadening wedges before. I have been studying these pattern as well. I didn't even knew it existed about 2 days ago, and I don't know if they work only on the bigger time frames, on the small time frames, but from what I have learned, because I saw a couple of tutorials talking about it, on average it loses 20% of its value. If it goes up, if the case would be it would go up this trend line, it would gain about 30% of its value. So I don't know I still don't know if that happens in the longer time frames. If it works on the shorter time frames as well. So we have to wait and see. So let's check the Dow Jones once again. Yeah, the Dow Jones is actually developing kind of a rising wedge here. So as well, this is not a bullish scenario. Once again, it already fallen down. Now it's coming back to the line as well. So yeah, there's really not much of anything that can say that we're in bullish territory, or that we're going for some kind of a rally, because the reality is that this rally, the rally that we have been having this last day or so, you know, I wasn't expecting that much of a rise, you know, to be quite honest. But that was obviously the case. The S&P kind of looking like it's having a rising wedge as well. So once again, guys, these are not bullish patterns here. These are not bullish patterns. You see what happened in a broadening wedge? That happened on the S&P. It went up. So this is a descending broadening wedge. Once it broke out, once it broke up to the upside, yeah, we actually saw a rally, and now in consequence it developed a rising wedge. So I was mapping the NDX here as well, because according to what the pattern of a broadening descending wedge, it gains after it breaks out, it gains about 33%. So I guess we went halfway through, and it started to develop another pattern in here. So like I said, that's why I don't know if these lower time frames really work. Apparently it doesn't, but we have to wait and see. But this was without no doubt, and once again I only started to know about this pattern very recently. So after we broke out this widening descending wedge, yeah, it broke to the upside. So it looks like these patterns are working. It didn't went through all the way up to the upside, but if I can interpret this correctly, instead of going up 30%, I would say it must have gained about at least 15. Oh, it's not over. Oh yeah, yeah, 33% is way up here. Yeah, 33% is up in there. So damn, that would be high. That would bring the S&P to all-time highs, which I don't see. Man, it's crazy. So that's what it would mean for this pattern to play out. 33%. Man, it would bring it to 4,019s. So doesn't look like it's happening. I don't know if it would, but it should actually work on every stock, But I don't know. BTC USD. No, because the reality is, I saw that pattern as well after I was starting to studying it. We can show it here as well. BTC USD. Man, this computer is so fucking slow, but I know why it is slow. I barely switch it off. That's why it's on fumes sometimes. So let me check here the FTX. So like we can see it in here, I was actually doing a little bit of mapping to try to understand what happened the last time Bitcoin dumped. Like we can see here, we had another rising wedge as well, so it dropped out from the rising wedge. It kind of did a little bit of a retest. Let's see if we can put here. That's not it right now. Let's check out this one. Yep, it actually did kind of a retest, like we can see in here. It was dropping, it went back up again, then it dropped down, then it started to descend. So in these patterns, generally there are retests going on, but when you see that the price is dropping is when people should actually capitalize on that. So once again, we saw that kind of pattern in here. Once again, it happened right before in here, and then, well, we can call this really a one because although it flashed to the upside, it didn't crash right away. So we had this one, now we have this one, and I know there are a couple of others back here. This is another one. Or was this? Yeah, that was actually the one that I was talking about. And there's a couple of other ones here in the back. So that's not really a one. So a wick to the upside and a flash crash is, like I said, guys, it's not bullish at all. At least from what I understand, the patterns that have actually presented themselves. Here is another one. Just take a look at this. This was another one. What happened? Drop. So because when I start to see it right now, I know I've seen it before, you know. So this is another one. This was actually another one. Well, I guess this can't be really called one of these, but there's a large one, the other large one that is way back here. We can consider this one as well. I guess it must have been that wick that went to 10K. Let me just see in here if I can find it. This wasn't the one. Yeah, this was actually the one that only lasted, so from June 1st to 2nd of July, so it only lasted 2 days. And then, oh yeah, I think we have, no, I mapped this one already, I think. Yep. Yeah, but this was, no, this wasn't the one that brought it to 10K. This was the one, actually. This was the wick that brought it back to 10K. So like we can see in here, we had a wick to the upside, a flash crash, a back in, and then the drop. Then we had another one in here, flash crash to the upside, down, and then started to drop. So if this actually means anything, it really doesn't look very good, guys. Really doesn't look very good. Yep. Not Spain, but in Mexico City. Can you check Rakuten? What would you think would be a good price to buy? Rakuten? What is Rakuten, man? I don't know what it is. Rakuten. Earn, get cash back. Shop smarter with Rakuten. Earn cash back at 2,500 plus stores or shop on Marketplace. Rakuten. Stock price TYO. Let me check. TYO. Direction shares. Rakuten. Rakuten Inc. must be this one, right? Is this it? I really don't know this stock. Delayed. Let me check here. Rakuten stock. Rakuten stock, so it is a Japanese stock, right? Rakuten stock, so let me check here in Japan. It's like Amazon for Japan and Asia. Yes, Japanese, okay. Let me use the Japanese ticker here. Rakuten. So 4755. Well, they have the 4-hour chart in here. The 4-hour chart. So the stock is actually doing quite well. So when was this crash here happening? So it happened in March. In March. Take a look at the history of this stock. So it has been around for a while now. Yeah, this is a difficult one. It wicks a lot as well. Wicks to the upside. So it had a kind of a flash crash as well. It went up and then started to crash. So yeah, this is actually a little bit of a hard one. Let me see. Well, we're in the lower time frame. The 5-minute chart is not telling very much. It's not very telling here, but let me just see if I can actually draw some trend lines in here to try to understand where this is going. Well, it looks like it's a rising channel or a rising flag, so at least on the lower time frames that's not good enough to see any long-term trend, but let me see if I can find anything else. So the 40-minute so according to the 40-minute here, yeah, I guess that this was the crash. The stock is actually doing quite good, but I don't know, it looks like a reversal to me after seeing this on the 45-minute. So let me draw another trend line here. So I guess it broke down from this level here. I bet it's another, yeah, another rising wedge here. Another rising wedge when it went to the upside. So like we can see, even in this stock, once again, you know, it topped out, it went back, so it went a little bit below, then it retested and then dropped, tried another rally, couldn't do it. So according to this rising wedge, that didn't happen too much time ago, you know. This, I would say, this is another bearish pattern, man. So if you're taking a look at this stock, the only thing that the only advice that I can give you, like it is on a rising channel in here, you know, make this channel and check when it drops, because I believe it's going down, because although it's not a rising wedge, you know, it's a rising channel, so eventually that rising channel, kind of like what happened in here, kind of like this here. This, we can, well, I guess we can consider this a rising wedge, but it kind of act like one. So we had a rising channel as well. Once it dropped from this channel, it went down. So the advice I can give you is, I believe the stock is going to continue to go down. Now it's having some kind of a rally, because I believe that the Nikkei must be having some kind of a rally as well. Once you see that that the stock is going to the edge of this line here, you know, that would be an opportunity to short, I think. So, but that's basically what's going on. And once again, man, we're talking about stocks, you know, and yeah, like we can see here, this was a perfect rising wedge as well. So more downside to come, I believe. More downside to come. So let it ride up this channel. When you start to see that it's going down, if you have the opportunity, or if you're into stocks, and if you're buying into longing or shorting, you know, just wait out until this stock tries to fall off the trend line, and put a short position in there. That's what I would think about this stock. It's like Amazon for Japan and Asia. Their rules and market cap over there, but they are pioneering into communication, launching 5G on the cloud next month. Yes, Japanese, gratis. So that's my outtake about this. I guess we're having some kind of a rally right now. It didn't start to drop for a while, so. But yeah, I believe the stock is going down as well. So let me check then what BTC is actually doing. No, guys, because the problem is that the environment, this environment is really not good. Not good at all. Because, like I said, I'm bearish on the stock market, and once again, if the American stock market is going to be affected, everything else is going to be affected as well. So it's just the way it is. Yep, looks like we have a little bit of an indecision right now in Bitcoin the stock market as well, I would say. See what the Dow Jones is actually doing. Yep, the Dow Jones is actually also a little bit in indecision in the Dow Jones, so the futures market, well, the futures is already starting to drop, so the Dow Jones futures, so yeah, like I said, guys, it doesn't look good. After a rising wedge that apparently has already fallen down from, not a good omen. I guess it may try to get back, or it already tried once again. Tried here, so went down, tried, failed, went down. I guess this is it. Although the stock market, the Dow Jones itself, it's not doing much. Not doing much, but to what I'm seeing here, looks like it's starting to fail as well, although still not doing much. A lot of indecision today still. So let's check who are the losers, who are the winners on CoinMarketCap, because I know there were a couple of pumps going on in the alt market. There were a couple of pumps, so Ethereum is already on the negative territory. XRP is actually gaining a little bit. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV is going down. Litecoin, Binance, Cardano. So we're starting to see a little bit of a pump going on into the altcoins, but it won't mean much when Bitcoin starts to drop. So I know there were a couple of winners in here, even XVG, Verge, which I was one of the first advocates on Verge, but you know, then I started to see that they're not doing anything. They changed the protocol 3 times. They were there was 2 51% attacks on it. They say it was 3, but I know it was 2. The third was a lie, but I don't see much potential in it, because the only thing, well, we see there are a lot of coins pumping right now. So we have Flexacoin, Swissborg, Divi. So Divi is actually having some kind of a rally as well. There was actually a guy, I don't know if it was last week, that was asking for advice in regards of buying this, you know. And I told him not to do it, because it was near all-time highs. So it's starting to go a little bit up, but I don't see anything about this coin, you know. It was already too high. Swissborg is a no-go as well. Flexacoin, Divi, ABBC coin, Nano, Unibright, Ravencoin is starting to pump as well. Chills, Aevo, Bitcoin Diamond, Cardano. Somebody was talking about Cardano, I guess, last days. Electroneum, I still have a little bit of it. I still haven't dropped it. Algorand, Stellar. So we have some little bit of pumps going on, but like I said, guys, because of what I'm seeing in the stock market, it's not going anywhere. The altcoin season is not coming like people have actually believe, because for me, an altcoin season is where you win 500,000x. That's a true alt season, like it happened back in 2017 through 2018. That is an alt season. But yeah, so Verge has started to drop as well, but we're, yeah. Verge is starting to drop as well. One of the main reasons why Verge is actually going up, although some coins are pumping and maybe it is not related, but one of the reasons why Verge is pumping is because they're going to have another block halving the next month or so, and and yeah, there is this pump already starting to go up, but like we can see here, looks like a little bit of exhaustion going on. Looks like a little bit of exhaustion is going on into Verge right now. This was no, I really liked this coin in the beginning because I actually thought that they would go as somewhere, and that was a time where I believed in anonymous transactions. That is not the case anymore. I don't believe that anonymous transactions should be a part of cryptocurrency, because if anonymous transactions will be allowed, you know, the criminals they will take advantage of it. That's how it works. Look how many criminals are trying to take advantage of the Bitcoin or the BTC network. Look how many pedophiles got already canned, you know. And these people actually believe they wouldn't get caught because of the Bitcoin being anonymous and stuff. And yeah, these people have to understand that if you commit a crime, you need to be accountable for it. And unfortunately, if you allow anonymous transactions to go through, you can do every economic crime you desire to. Nobody catches you, and I don't think that is a fair system. It's all about fairness, man. And anonymous transactions are not a fair system, because you can do whatever you want. You can break the law. Well, it's not much about the law, because laws can be changed. It's about morality. So if you kill a bunch of people, and you're receiving money over it, and you transact through an anonymous blockchain, you will never be caught. Do you think that is fair? So people that are causing harm, you know, killing people or molesting children or whatever, these people can't get away with it. And as bad as our system is, as bad as our laws are, as bad as our politicians are, you know, not having any rules at all, that would be worse, because without rules, without any kinds of rules, man, it's the end of civilization, because everyone can do whatever they want, and there needs to be some order. Rules still need to be set in place so things can work properly. So yes, Japanese grass. What about comp? Compound coin, you know, this one. Well, where is it? Compound is a decentralized DeFi protocol for interest markets. When users apply Ethereum to earn interest, they exchange it for CETH, which they can exchange back to ETH at any time. This is the case for every token Compound supports. Compound does not touch fiat, derivatives, futures, opinions, options, etc. So, Compound financial markets. Oh, it's an exchange. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of these systems. I don't know much about it, so all markets, so it looks like they have Ethereum, Tether, USD, Coin, DAI, Augur, 0x, Basic Attention, Rep, BTC. Oh, it's a borrowing platform mainly. I thought this was kind of a market, but I don't know. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything at all. I didn't even knew that this actually existed. So I can't. I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is. It looks like an exchange here, but yeah, there's not much I can say about this compound coin. The compound protocol currently has 1,956,000 of BAT, interest of 0.68%, has $92,000 worth of Ethereum, interest 0%, Rep 0.05%. Well, these interest rates are a little bit low. If they keep it up like this, I don't know how they're going to make any money. USDC 0.34% interest rate, 79,000 of USDT earning 11% interest rate. Interesting. So they have about $48 million in everything. 24-hour supply volume, 24-hour volume, gross borrow, gross supply. So, governance overview, affected 35%, top addresses by voting weight. Yep. Supercharge your application with interest and liquidity. Yep. Add interest, high returns for you or your users. Balances held by your application can automatically earn the prevailing market rate. You can build interest directly into our product. Earn by the block. Yep. I really don't know much about this, so API 0.34%, which is not much. DAI 0.68%. Yep. Don't know much about this. Yeah, I understand it's a landing platform. The rate is variable. I guess it depends on the users, I don't know. So I guess we got stuck here in the XVG. Let's check out the XVG to US dollar. It was almost at around $1. I guess it never reached it. Yeah, let's start just to draw some lines here to try to understand what's going on. Maybe it's just having kind of a little drop right now. Maybe it's overextended. Yep. Looks like another broadening wedge here. I guess Bitcoin is starting to drop. I'll be back to it in a second. Let me just check here. Yeah, this is kind of a channel. It might not be done yet, you know. It can actually go back in here and continue to rise up, so it doesn't mean anything. maybe just a correction like we saw in this one. It's actually quite possible. But so let me check on what is going on to BTC. Yep, I guess BTC is starting to drop, and this is the line that I don't believe you want to cross, because yeah, if it goes through, if it doesn't make another retest, then yeah, this is it, and Bitcoin will start to drop. Let's see what's going on once again with the stock market. So the Dow Jones is actually starting to dump as well. The futures market. The futures market is actually a little bit stale, but also looking like it's going to dump. So, like I said, guys, this doesn't look good at all. I believe this is the resumption. The resumption of the bear market after a little bit of a recovery, because no market goes straight down. That doesn't happen. Yep. Let me check here once again. I better use the FTX now. Yeah, but I believe this is the drop, and once again I saw this pattern here, this week to the upside, and then the flash crash. That is not a bullish indicator at all. So it looks like we're going down, guys. So I'll be right back. So yeah, we see Bitcoin's trying to hold on, trying to make a little bit of a comeback or of a recovery in here, but I don't know, guys. Looks all pretty droppy to me. Yep, the Dow Jones is also not doing much. YM1. Yep, the futures market is continuing to go down as well, so it is clearly following this this rising wedge. So and yeah, dropping from this level here is a very bearish indicator, man. Very, very bearish indicator. because the last time it recovered, like we can see here, we went to 8,893 and then recovered. I don't believe this time there will be a recovery. I guess I caught this. No, this wasn't the one. Which one? There was the one recently that I caught. Must have been yesterday or something. I don't know. I think it was this one. Yeah. So this is the big picture here. You know, this is another broadening wedge going on. So another broadening wedge here, and on average, so this is actually in a bigger time frame. So it is actually quite possible that this can actually play out. And if that is the case, I can see actually going to 7K, making a wick at 7K, because I believe there's people buying in there. Then another pump to the upside, another pump to the upside. I don't believe we'll be coming back these levels now. So this was a retest going on. We tested it. I believe we will start to drop for real this time. Because we're starting to see rising wedges all over the place in all the markets. So I guess we can put it here. Yep, the futures market is actually continuing to go down. This ring is actually bringing it down this time. Dow Jones, like I said, once again, is not doing much. I tried to make a retest in here, but looks like this trend line is the deal here. So this trend line actually, I can actually extend it from up here, I think. Yep, I can actually extend it from up here. Yeah, from up here is better. So that's what we have into play in here. So yeah. Because that's basically what happened in here as well. So we had the flash crash down, then we kind of had another crash to the downside, then to the upside, and then it just wanted to continue. And once we left this level here, then it went straight down. So once we leave this this trend line, once we break it, I believe we're coming down as well. But we will have to wait and see. You got any questions for me? Any more questions? Anything you want to take a look at? The price alert that I'm using. So basically what I use as a price alert is, and I don't think it's even on this one. I must have made it on the Coinbase chart. So you see this line here? I have this line and then I have an alert here. See, this is an alert. All you have to do is click on the second mouse. I can just delete it and I'll put it back again. So here it is. So the only thing I have to do is click on the second mouse and then click here, add alert. Then I put in here when it crosses it beeps. Or I can put a trend line in here instead of this. I can put a trend line here. I can just make a trend line like I did in the other one. I'll just put it in here. And you can add an alarm on it as well. Add an alert on horizontal line as well. So I'll rather have it like that. And then I just put the line back into it. So this for me is, I know this is resistance and support. That's why we're seeing it bounce all around from this place. It's resistance and support, guys. So that's where the magic number is. If it drops from this line, it looks like we have a red ring in here that may bring it down or not. Let's see what happens. But like I said, guys, it doesn't look good, especially after seeing this flash crash and then this dump. You know, this for me, according to the other indicators that I've seen, it's actually a bearish indicator. Like in this one, flash crash to the upside, went up, and then started to drop. So looks like it's starting to recover a little bit. Let's see if it can actually go. Let me see once again what the futures are doing. So the Dow Jones is still unchanged. 181. Well, looks like the futures is recovering a little bit as well. Looks like BTC is actually following the futures market, so it's recovering a little bit. Let's see how far it actually goes. BTC pumped to 2000. Pumped to 2000. What you talking about? BTC pumped to 2000 or 20,000? Well, I'm bearish. I'm very bearish about this market. I'm bearish about the stock market, especially, and I'm bearish about everything. So I don't believe that if he's talking about if Mr. Chinese or Japanese, I believe it's a Chinese guy, is talking about a $20,000 BTC. No, I'm not seeing that happening. Okay, guys, I will leave the stream open. I'm going for a little bit of shopping. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back, but I will end this broadcast. I will be back later. I'm the coin, and I'm out.